Welcome to Sib Spot. Today's Reddit stories are from Am I the A-Hole? Story 1 is by SmartFinish8886. Am I the a-hole for kicking out my son-in-law for bringing salad like I asked? I have a son-in-law, let's call him Jeff, that I do not get along with. I find him to be incompetent. Clearly, I am not a fan, and I am not going to pretend about that. He is a prankster, and for the most part they are harmless if not annoying. I used to cook a ton for get-togethers, but I'm getting old. Instead, when we have a dinner, we do a potluck. We have a shared document where I list items that need to be brought. For example, salad, chicken dish, desserts, and so on. People will put their name next to the items they're bringing. My daughter travels often, so there have been multiple times where he will come alone. This is where issues arise. He will sign up for an item and then bring in joke versions. He signed up to bring a fish entree and brought in candy sushi. Well, multiple people hate chicken, so they didn't have an entree to eat. Claims he will bring in lasagna and it was a cake. I've talked to him and multiple members of the family have. My daughter said she will handle it, but she can't stop him when she's gone. It's a problem since him lying makes it worse because we run out of entree food and now I have to cook more. It annoys other family members also because they usually go home hungry. Really, first time was funny and now it's just effing annoying. This time I asked him to just bring a salad, just sign up for the salad. He can buy a kit at Walmart, but please bring a salad. He came to the event with a bowl of candy and called it a candy salad. I kicked him out and started making a salad for dinner. He is pissed. My daughter and him are calling me a jerk for kicking him out. Down in the comments by Fragrant Economist 386. Not the a-hole, but for heaven's sake, stop inviting him. OP replied to that and said, if I did that, I would get crap for excluding him from the family. Trust me, I want to not invite him, but that would blow up in my face. Underneath that by Since You Asked One. Stop inviting him to a few events. They will get the message since words don't seem to work. If your family doesn't like his absence, they can invite him and deal with his pranks. Underneath that by Action-Packed Mentalist. Invite him for the wrong date and time, then be like, haha, just kidding. Bonus points if you can make it look like you're throwing him a birthday party. Do it over and over. Call him by the wrong name. Over and over. When you're out at restaurants with them, make like you're going to the bathroom, find your server, and change his order. When he attends a family potluck, have a plate of rubber food and serve it to him. Over and over. But the simplest solution is to disregard any of his attempts to sign up for a food item. You wouldn't expect one of the grandchildren to competently provide a dish. This dude sounds less mature. That post is pretty brilliant. They sound like they might be good pranksters themselves. If you can find a way to get back at him, you guys might like each other better. You might bond over that. If you're not into pranks yourself and you sound like you're not, just stop inviting him, because he really needs to change his ways if he's going to keep coming to your house. Our next story is by No Market 159. Am I the a-hole for making it clear my daughter isn't a bully, but clearly her daughter is a thief? My daughter is a very good student. She has been on honor roll for all of middle school. She's in the 8th grade and in the advanced track. She's in some regular classes like Spanish, vocab, etc. They do not do advanced tracks for those subjects, and the whole class, about 50 of them, gets all the same homework. All the lockers are in the hall. This is relevant. It wasn't uncommon for her to help students with homework if asked. Over time, she got sick of doing it and stopped. Ever since Christmas break, she has been struggling. Before, I thought she was messing up, but no. She would do the homework and then it would be missing when it was time to turn in. We bought new organizers and she would still be missing stuff. I knew the work was done, but missing. Then 2 weeks ago, she was accused of cheating since someone had almost the exact same essay as hers. We also noticed that only her physical stuff in the normal classes would be missing, not her stuff in the computer. Some teachers are old school. She was extremely frustrated and was on track to getting C's in some of her classes. She told the teacher and no one believed her. So she recorded her locker and another student was taking her work. Let's call that girl Beth. My daughter was not quiet and turned in the proof to her teachers. Basically, the whole grade knew she was stealing homework. I got a call into the office. They are fixing my daughter's grade, but Beth's mom was trying to get my daughter in trouble for bullying. I told her enough after a while and that my daughter isn't a bully and clearly her daughter is a thief. She called me a jerk, but I refused to allow my daughter to get in trouble. Down in the comments by Kooky Buttwise. How was the other girl getting into your daughter's locker? Under that by the OP. There were no locks on them. The school didn't allow locks due to a lot of middle schoolers forgetting their code and locking themselves out. Really, it was the honor system. Maybe they will rethink the rule now. What's the point of having lockers if they don't lock? Under that by Liquid Snake 13. Man, the majority of those students must be dumb as heck. When I was in middle school, we had 2 combination lockers, one for our bags and our own locker for the gym changing areas. Can't believe theft like this isn't happening more often. And finally, by Blue Popple. I suspect the real reason is to make drug and weapon locker checks easier for the school administration. The forgotten codes was an excuse. Doing away with the locks on everybody's locker makes it way less secure for everybody else. But even if you do have standard locks on lockers, they're not hard to pop open for some students at school. It doesn't matter if they're locked, so they're not that secure anyway. Our last story today is by Character Address 53. Am I the a-hole for saying my stepmom can't take back how she treated me? I'm a 24 female and I've always had a rocky relationship with my stepmom, Cindy, who's 51. She came into my life when I was 13, and pretty much as soon as she and my dad were married, she became very pushy about taking up a parental role. She came to all my events and stuff, which I tried to appreciate, but she was also very, it's my house too and I get to make the rules, after moving in with my dad. She was the bad cop, I guess. She was the one who thought I didn't have enough chores, that my grades weren't good enough, that I needed screen time limits, etc., and that led to a lot of arguments. I hit the last straw at 17. The lawn needed cutting before Sunday. My dad said he'd do it Saturday afternoon, so I made plans to go hang out with my friends for the day. While I was out, Cindy messaged me saying I shouldn't have let Dad do the lawn because he'd had a tiring week, and that I would be doing it. Her usual MO, basically. I said no and stayed out with my friends. When I got home, she was furious and tried to ground me, and it turned into this big stupid argument where I pulled the "you're not my mom" card. Dad ended up stepping in. I wasn't grounded, but also asked me to try and get along with her. It didn't matter, because she decided she was done. She just kind of stopped acknowledging me. We basically became roommates who hated each other. I wasn't even allowed to eat food she bought, not special stuff, like when the bread ran out and she was the one to replace it. It was all just really tense, and I ended up spending a lot more time at my mom's apartment until I went to college. I never formally blocked her or went no contact, but we just haven't spoken since. She never came any time I met up with Dad, etc. Until me and my fiancé announced our engagement. The wedding is over a year away, but Cindy sent me a long text congratulating me and asking for all the details so she could help plan. She was asking about coming to dress fittings, and if we wanted an engagement party, and if she could make a speech at the wedding, basically asking about all the mother of the bride stuff and pretending the last 11 years didn't happen. I didn't reply until Dad reached out asking why I hadn't. I was honest with him. I'm weirded out by this. I'm happy for Cindy to come as his +1, but she's not getting any role at the wedding. We're actually not even doing a head table just because I don't want to share a table with her or separate her from Dad. Because she's not my mom, and the last time I saw her, she was insistent about that. It turned into a whole thing. He says that she's really hurt and that he's rethinking coming to the wedding because she doesn't want to go. I say she can't take back what happened, and at the very least she should have apologized before reaching out like this. Mom and my partner are supportive of me, but I've had messages from several people on Dad's side saying I'm the a-hole for punishing Cindy and it's getting to me. So, am I the a-hole? Some people are obsessed with weddings and they want to be involved in any way possible because it gives them joy. It doesn't sound to me like she's considering your feelings at all in this. She gets the wedding fever and she needs to be involved and have a hand in it because she likes weddings. It's not uncommon for some women to be like that. And so, no, you're not the a-hole in this situation. She's definitely the a-hole here. You don't have to bond with your stepmom, and she sounds like she's trying to be way controlling to you when you were growing up. She doesn't get to do all that, basically cut you out of her life in a way, and ignore you and not treat you like her child, and then swoop in and try to be the mom in the end. Down in the comments by No Thanks 9802, the people on your dad's side, do they know the real reason, or do they know Cindy's version of the truth, where she's the victim, not the a-hole? She made her bed all those years ago, and it seems like your dad enabled her to do so. Now she has to lie in it. It's your wedding, and she does not deserve a place in it. Besides being your dad's +1, if your dad chooses her and doesn't come, then that's on him. Congratulations on your upcoming wedding. It sucks if your dad doesn't go, if you guys are close and you really, had a good relationship for all these years. But if he doesn't come because she's hurt, that's on him, and that's his mistake to make. She can come, you already said that. She's not having a motherly part in the wedding. That's absurd, and she's obnoxious. Our stories for today have come to a close. Until we meet again, have a warm and fuzzy day.